The purpose of this project was to open our eyes to the different circumstances that people have been put in to alter their views of the American dream. I was able to interview family, friends, and teachers to get multiple perspectives on what the American dream exactly is to them. Okay, Eli, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A tennis player.
You think you can be a tennis player?
Yes.
What do you think people who live in different states think of the American dream?
Just go to the Olympics.
Go to the Olympics?
Yes, just do the Olympics.
Oh, okay. So, when you were little, what did you want to be?
A basketball player.
Why did you change your mind?
Because I don't want. I just don't know.
Oh, okay. So, why do you think people who live in different states just want to play in the Olympics?
Because they win for the country.
Oh, wow. That's it?
Yes. And then they get lots of medals and they get rich
Oh, okay.
for the country.
Well, thank you, Eli.
I think the American dream is about equality and our rights and having an opportunity, and to talk about the extent to which it's available for all Americans, I'd say that it's more accessible in modern day, it's more accessible to people who have already been here. And in comparison to immigrant families, it's harder for them to be able to achieve the American dream.
I don't think all Americans can achieve it to that level. Some people have the ability to do more than others. And depending on their circumstances and their state of mind and their attitude, and I think that's the point of achievement that they can reach.
I think I am living the American dream. I came into this country from my little island in Puerto Rico with little or nothing, just with a bag full of dreams. The dream of getting a job, learning the language, buying a house. And so to me, that's the meaning of the American dream, is to set goals and achieve them.
So, for the first question, what is the American dream? To me, the American dream is to have finished school, have a career where I'm making a sufficient amount of income that I don't have to stress about being in debt to anybody. I own everything. And how to accomplish that dream would be just to work hard and to stay dedicated. That's what I believe the American dream is.
I feel like for Americans that have already been here, it's easier for them to see America as a place where they're going to have more rights and more democracy and have more of a political and social voice in what they have and what they can and can't do. And for immigrant families like mine, it's more of an opportunity where you're finally going to get what you deserve for all the work that you've put in.
In many ways, they're different. I can talk about experience from my dad and my family. My dad was the oldest of 25, and that meant he has 24 brothers and sisters. When my dad turned 18, he came here from Nicaragua with my mom. Oh, actually, I guess my dad was 23 and my mom 18. But they were still young, and they both came over here because they wanted to try to achieve the American dream. The American dream to them was to raise their family in a better environment, trying to give them everything they can, and for him was to bring his family. So my dad supported his 24 brothers and sisters and my mom's 4 siblings here in the United States and helped them get their education and get ahead.
It depends of your upbringing and where you're coming from. For many people, the American dream could be buying that new BMW, but for others like me, the American dream is just owning that Honda Accord that is paid for and I have no car payment. So it is just all about priorities and where you see yourself in life.
Now, the American dream is different for everybody because we live in a society where people have different mindsets. Some people believe that things should just be given to them, that they shouldn't have to work hard for it. You have some that work hard. They break their neck to barely get by and don't even get acknowledged. And they literally die living paycheck to paycheck. And I feel like that makes it difficult for them to truly have an American dream, because for them, the dream is just to be, I guess you can say, in debt to someone else.
I feel like from the time that Americans got here back in colonial America, it was more about our independence and the fact that we were going to become our own nation, and that everything was based on hard work and diligence. But now it doesn't seem that way, because the divide between the rich and poor is just perpetuating, and it's harder for us to see the hard work getting what it deserves back.
American dream has changed over time, because if you're talking about all the people from different countries that come over here and are trying to reach the American dream, getting a better life, now it's very, very difficult. When my parents came, they came here legally. They were able to do things properly. They have their paperwork. Both my parents are U.S. citizens, and it was easy for them to do. And my brother was able to, my dad was able to support his brothers and sisters, bringing them over all completely legally. Now, there's a lot of illegal aliens that are coming in, and it's very difficult for them to get residency and citizenship.
I think back in if we go back in history, 1800s and 1900s, people were more into getting America moving with technology, with new cars, transportation, and it was all about America. Nowadays, it's more about myself, the people. I think people have grown a little bit more selfish, and the priorities and the values of the Americans have changed over time, because by now they feel, or we feel, we have everything, and we take things for granted.
Time goes on, we become more and more dependent on technology. We become more and more dependent on basically doing the fast route. We want to figure out what is the fastest way for me to get from point A to point B always, whether it's driving, whether it's education, whether it's just to get $1. We're always thinking of what is the fastest way to do it. Granted, there's nothing wrong, but it's not always right. It does not always bring us to that outcome that we need or are seeking.
Well, when immigrants come over to America, they kind of see America as a place where they have hope for this new place, and it's like a fresh start for them. And then there's people who already live here, and they understand why people came to America in the first place and what their purpose is. So I feel like origin has a lot to do with how the American dream is perceived.
I think the factors that create the perceptions of the American dream, it goes back to how people see themselves in life and what their priorities are. It has to do with your upbringing, but most importantly with your drive. If you really want to have a good life, be a good citizen, be a good American, you have to work for it and work hard. And that's what America's values are all about. It's about putting your head down and working hard for it. You have to study, and there's going to be some sweat and tears involved, but it is attainable, completely achievable if you put your mind and your head into it.
Looking at all of these different perspectives, I noticed that it was mostly centered around hard work and sacrifice, which is most notable in Mrs. Chavez's interview. What I was not able to include, besides the fact that her father brought his 24 siblings and in-laws, was that he supported them so much that they were able to graduate college and become successful and own their own homes, while her father did not get an education of his own. It was not until a few years after Miss Chavez married that he owned his first house. It also has a lot to do with where he grew up, like what Sophia was saying. and your own personal drives, shown through my mom who came here and taught herself the language, and my brother who is convinced he can become a tennis player. I saw a similarity between those answers in Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers. In it, he discusses the circumstances people were put in and their own personal values and goals that led them to their success. In Huckleberry Finn, both Jim and Huck escaped the clutches of their oppressors to try and find their own freedom. Jim escaped a life of slavery, and Huck escaped from his abusive father. I also saw that some people thought the American dream changed in a more negative light than a positive one, which showed a parallel to the music video made by Gambino. Not only that, but in Handmaid's Tale, they showed an extreme view of what could happen when one group of people decides that they have more of a reason to be in power than the other. For the woman, the American dream meant having the standard freedom and respect that they should already have. Overall, the American dream should be achievable for everyone, no matter who they are and where they come from.